Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another Manhwa recommendations list. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe for regular uploads, and keep in mind this list is not in any particular order. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting our list, we have Manager Kim. Single father, company manager, and former Black Ops member, Mr. Kim lived an ordinary life until his daughter, Minji, went missing. After discovering his daughter could be dead, Kim turns mercilessly and sets out for information. He will rescue his daughter by any means necessary, even if it means destroying everything and everyone standing in his path. The MC was a former special agent, but he decided to quit for his daughter. But when his daughter got kidnapped, he turned into John Wick. It's an exciting read. It is action-packed and the main character is overpowered from the start. It may get a little annoying at times, so you simply need to have patience. I recommend this if you want to see an overpowered badass going around destroying anyone that gets in his way, even the police. Next up, we have The Return of the Crazy Demon. Jaha Lee, the MC, desires to be the god of martial arts. His dreams are destroyed when he falls off a cliff while fleeing the demonic cult for stealing the Jade of Heaven. However, this is not the end of Jaha. He awakens from the fall to find himself in his 20s. With his knowledge of the future and martial arts, he now has a chance at vengeance and a second chance at life. This is your typical regression-type martial arts manhwa, but what sets this manhwa apart is the unexpected funny moments. The main character is powerful and ruthless from the start, but as the plot develops, it becomes clear how pitiful and helpless he was before becoming strong. The side characters are also written nicely. The interaction between the main character and the side characters is always entertaining to read. The humor, the pacing, and attention to detail make this one an enjoyable read. I highly recommend it. Moving on, we have My Dad is Too Strong. The scatterbrained, talentless civil servant returned as the heavenly demon. He now wished to live the rest of his life peacefully, as his days in the Murim world were full of conflict and bloodshed. However, please be my father until I graduate. He suddenly gained a daughter out of nowhere. The story is fun to read and hilarious at times. It's light-hearted for the majority, only taking a serious tone during situations that require it. The characters are not that great, but there are several who are pretty unique and relatable, and all contribute to the narrative. I recommend this manhwa if you're looking for something light-hearted. Next up, we have Worn and Torn Newbie. After learning that 15 miserable years of his life as a failed gamer was one long nightmare, Lee Yojin is glad to be a newbie again, vowing not to repeat the same mistakes. He starts anew as a hotshot old-timer. Although the narrative is not particularly unique, it is quite well executed. Some parts could be fixed. Nonetheless, it's quite an interesting manhwa that I recommend everyone to read. The MC is overpowered and has two identities, the first one being a streamer and the second being a pro player. It's hilarious and satisfying watching how he handles different situations. Moving on, we have Volcanic Age. Juseo Kion is a man who survives the age of war through sheer luck and becomes the elder of the Huaizan faction, only to live a life full of regrets and doubts. As he lies on his deathbed, waiting for the inevitable, he is returned to the past. This manhwa is very intriguing. Every small plot point goes to something greater and more important as the story progresses, and the characters are well written and have real personalities, along with good character development. The MC is powerful and there is no sudden strength gained. He has to understand and master certain parts of skill to progress. He becomes popular as the story progresses and created two different identities. The art and the story progression were depicted well. I enjoyed it. Moving on, we have Kill the Hero. After he's killed by the righteous leader of his own guild, Woojin gets a chance to start over. This time, he's not interested in saving the world from monsters. He got his sights set on revenge. His high-level kills quickly garner him fame among the game commoners, while boosting his stats as he masterminds his way closer to the top. But there's something no one can figure out: whose side he is playing for. Now that he knows how to play to win, Woojin will stop at nothing to destroy the heroes. The MC is cunning, smart, and strong with a systematic way of hunting his prey. It's a pretty basic story similar to solo leveling, definitely worth reading. He has two identities, an average hunter and a strong hunter with a different name, face, and skills. It is a good revenge story, and the way the story is told is quite refreshing. Moving on, we have The Archmage Returns after 4,000 years. Lucas Troman was the greatest archmage in history until he was condemned by demigod to spend eternity losing his mind. But 4,000 years later, he's thrust back into this world, into the body of Frey Blake, the weakest and most untalented student at the prestigious West Road Academy for Mages. After all this time, the world of magic has barely progressed. Could this be the work of demigod? Determined to find out, Lucas seeks to reach the highest levels of power once again and get his revenge. The art is beautiful. Between the coloring, shading, and line work, it is almost perfect. The characters are awesome. You have a wide variety of characters that all look different. The plot is easy to follow and makes you want to find out what happens next. Moving on, we have The Player Who Can't Level Up. When Kim Kigyu received his invitation to become a player, a unique ability player that he thought his struggles were over. But no matter how hard he tries, he just can't seem to get past level 1. After 5 years of working as a guide on the lower floors of the tower, he's finally discovered his ability to link with egos and raise his stats. As his new skills unlock adventures in unexplored gates, Kigyu gets his chance to defy expectations and show the world that rank isn't everything. This manhwa is interesting. It reminds me of solo leveling with a weak MC becoming the strongest. Our main character has awakened as a unique ability holder, but even after a few years, he is still level 1. Although the plot is classic, the way the story progresses is original, and the art fits perfectly with the plot. Moving on, we have Second Life Ranker. Yeonwoo's brother disappeared years ago, and he's devastated to learn of his death. As he copes with his loss, he's given a pocket watch and learns there's more to his brother's death. He was betrayed while competing in the Tower of the Sun God. Now it's Yeonwoo's turn to use the knowledge his brother left behind. The story follows a Yeonwoo whose main objective is revenge. He is so interesting that it makes you want to keep reading his story. The story is more focused on the MC than the world around him or other characters. The MC isn't overpowered in the beginning, he becomes powerful because of his training and choices. He also has an upper hand due to him almost having a guide on where to go to get legendary equipment. He is also a lonely wolf and prefers to do his objectives alone. If you enjoy stories about weak to strong, revenge, fantasy, and RPGs, then I recommend this. The overall plot and design of the story are quite easy to grasp, and the art is decent and easy on the eyes. Finally, we have Mercenary Enrollment. At the age of 8, Ejinu lost his parents in a plane crash and became stranded in a foreign land, forced to become a child mercenary to stay alive. He returns home 10 years later to be reunited with his family in Korea, where food and shelter are plenty and everything seems peaceful. But Ejin will soon learn that life as a teenager is a whole other feat of survival. With only 1 year of high school left, Ejin must master new tactics to maneuver his way around the schoolhouse battleground. Can he survive a year of high school? Or rather, will the school be able to survive him? The MC was a former mercenary. He's overpowered from start. I like how he goes into the school without much of a personality. It leaves a lot of room for character development. He manages to keep his secrets from the reader, but still gives us the smallest scenes of what happened after his plane crashed. The story's amazing and the characters are hilarious.